'Cause I don't know what you want from me, but I'm open to hearing.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are tackling an acoustic style worship song in Logic Pro X using only Logic stock plugins. I'm really excited about it, excited to hop into it. But before we do, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Connor Edwards. I make music, specifically praise and worship music. If you're new here, I'm really excited that you decided to tune in and hope you found the video helpful. With that being said, let's get into it. And I did want to mention that in today's video, I am going to be giving away this template. Because it's an acoustic style song, there's literally only 8 instruments. So there's not a ton there, but I did also want to give away the guitar that I recorded and processed within Logic. I did want to give all of that away too as like a free sample that you could use. And the link to download those is totally free. It's in the description below. But now let's get into the video. So I feel like the smart thing to do with an acoustic style song, the first thing to start with is the acoustic guitar. So let's kind of give a listen to what I did, and then I'll talk about how I processed that. So here's the guitar. So it's just one guitar. I wanted to only do one acoustic guitar, and you see it's not panned super crazy, just like 10 slightly to the left to move it out of the way of the lead vocal. So I started with a little bit of Logic stock EQ, low cut, taming a little bit of like muddy low end, and then some harsh frequencies up in the high end, compressed, some saturation, and then did a little bit more EQ to just tame some of those areas here, and then just a high end boost. And that's really it. It's what I normally do on guitars, just using Logic stock plugins. And then I am sending it to a delay and to a reverb just to add some depth, add some space, but nothing crazy. Then going throughout the song is also this atmospheric ARP, or you might could call it like a pluck, but I basically went into retro synth and made a sound that we can take all this stuff off. The sound that I made sounds like this. So it kind of sounds like maybe like a horn or something like that. So then when you put on bit crusher, saturation, compression, filtered it out very, very, very heavily, and then delay and reverb right on the track, then you get this. And then with the guitar, made a really nice atmosphere and a nice bit to work with. Then we get into our piano. So of course, Logic stock piano, upright piano too. They also have a grand and that sort of thing. And then let's just listen to it first. And I played that on my MIDI keyboard, and I tried not to add any extra notes. I literally just wanted the bed of what the chords are, and that's it. So then I added EQ, and I did a lot here. So EQ, compression, saturation, reverb directly. Well, that's not the reverb. That's the reverb. Reverb directly on the track. And you'll notice kind of a theme here of doing some EQ into compression and then saturating the sound, and that's pretty much it. So far, all these together So for a worship song, I think that sounds pretty good. It's a nice bed to work with. Then in the pre-chorus, which is here, I bring in the studio bass, which I have these settings, and then I did some EQ to boost. I wanted a lot more of the top end, and then the bass amp. I went in and chose this deep setting, and I thought it gave me a very subdued but heavy bass sound, which is kind of what I was going for. I went back and added the top end because it had so little of it. I wanted a little bit more. Then I added bit crusher, just 9% mix, barely doing anything, but soloed, if you can hear it, sounds like this. then in the chorus with everything else. So then the only other instruments that I wanted to add, I wanted to keep it very simple. I did this electric lead. So let's listen to it first, and then I'll break down how I kind of process that. That electric lead is EQ'd to cut low and top end, nothing much. Mean Machine Crunch is the Logic preset that I use, and then I think I took the bass down some, if I remember correctly. Compressed that, added some overdrive to give it a little bit more bite there, then filtered it out again, and then just delay and reverb directly on the track, and that gets us that sound. So then the next guitar that I did, that was kind of the lead part, or like the lead lick. The next part that I did is this atmospheric guitar, which I'll just kind of solo it because it's quieter in the mix. Sounds like this. So it's the first and the fifth and back to the first of E major, which is what we're in. So I went directly into the amp for this one, then a pedal board where it compressed it, added some chorus and distortion, then filtered that back out, and then delay and reverb. So all together, then these kind of add a little bit more. And I did pan that too, just to give me a little bit more width, but most of these instruments I kind of stayed down the center. So, and then the last thing I did was I took these plucked chords, which come in here in the bridge. So I'll solo those. You can hear what's going on. Probably just add some extra rhythm and just something different in the bridge. And so what I was doing for those is, again, EQ, compressed, then into the amp. And on this one, I just made sure to choose like the stadium models of this amp. Pedal board with compression and distortion, and then filtered it out a good bit, delay and reverb. So usual suspects there. And that literally is it throughout the entire song. So then now that brings us to the vocal. We'll kind of start by listening to it with nothing, and then kind of talk about what I did and why.
There was a time when all I'd see was the left and right. Go through the motions and fall back every time.
So the verse stays pretty low like that, and then in the chorus is what we're doing.
'Cause I don't know what you want from me, but I'm open to hearing.
The usual in recording, it's on a TLM 102. I just try to get the best recording that I can. I think I like compressed maybe like 1 or 2 dB when I was recording. It's probably it. So not much going on. I did, of course, like tune it with flex pitch. I think this time I wanted more of a natural sound. So with a lot of these, like I only did 80% pitch correction. I didn't drag them 100% to the center of the note. Again, that way to make it sound maybe a little bit more natural. So then with that being said, then with the pitch correction plugin, 84 millisecond response, that's pretty low. Like you're not going to hear a lot of the like digitized sounding like T-Pain auto-tune type of thing if you do that. So if you're going for a more natural voice, something like this or even slower will really achieve that sound. Then I de-essed. Nothing too crazy going on there. Then EQ'd. This EQ, I boosted a little bit of presence here and in the top end. This is the S harshness. This is a little bit of mid that gets really heavy in that chorus, and then lowest of the lows there. So with just those plugins, we clean it up a lot.
There was a time when all I'd see was left and right.
Then we go into 2 compressors in a row, the first and the second. I looked for about maybe 3 to 5 gain reduction out of both of them. That's why I wanted to use 2. And then multi-pressor, so multi-band that's really doing the most in this mid area. So let's give that a listen in the same part.
There was a time when all I'd see was left and right.
And then in the chorus.
'Cause I don't know what you want from me, but I'm open to hearing.
So it sounded pretty up front, so then I just did a little bit more to tame the S's and then compressed one last time. So then right now we have this sound.
'Cause I don't know what you want from me, but I'm
about 4 dB of
to hearing.
getting about 4 dB there. So then the last thing I wanted to do, so I decided to use this tube EQ. It really was just to try something different. So I think out of all the options, and it takes a lot of like, I guess, looking and familiarizing yourself with the type. This is supposed to be like a Pultec EQ. I didn't do any kind of low boost, but then at 100 Hertz, I did a little bit of attenuation. The way I did this is like I drove it all the way up here, and obviously the vocal's super thin. You can hear this.
'Cause I don't know.
It loses all of its presence. So then I just dragged it down until it felt like it was at a good place.
'Cause I don't know what you want from me.
It's too much.
But I'm open to hearing.
So I thought that that was the sweet spot there. Then I boosted 16K by 4 dB. So I'll let you kind of hear how that changes.
'Cause I don't know what you want from me.
Too much.
But I'm open to hearing.
And then I also attenuated just a little bit at 10K. I thought that that kind of allowed it to sit right. And that was really, I think, all that I did. Oh, and I boosted a little bit of presence at 3K. So not a crazy amount of stuff going on. And then this drive, when I opened it, was already set to 4. And I thought it was giving me something that I liked. So I actually pushed it up to 5. You can see if you can tell the difference here.
'Cause I don't know what you want from me, but I'm open to hearing.
So maybe a touch of saturation there, but I wanted just a little bit more. So I added this exciter at 14K, so way up there.
'Cause I don't know
Maybe a little much.
what you want from me, but I'm open to hearing. I need your voice.
Just like that silky, super silky top end. And so then lastly, we have our sends. So the normal suspects to just chorus, slapback, short room delay, parallel compression, and then ping pong delay and long reverb. So that gives us this.
'Cause I don't know what you want from me, but I'm open to hearing. I need your voice to lead me closer now, 'cause I'm open to living and sacrifice.
And there you have it. That's it. So that is how I would make an acoustic style praise and worship song in Logic using only Logic stock plugins and stock instruments. So I hope you found the video helpful. And if you're interested in this template or in the guitar samples that you can use, and feel free to put them into your song, use them however you'd like to. The link for that, totally free download, is in the description below. Please consider, if you haven't already, subscribing to the channel. Again, it's a great way to support me making these videos and trying to be consistent with them. So thank you guys so much for watching, and to those who have subscribed already, and see you next time.